Hey. Here we are again for the Rams Niner week. Here we are again. The 49ers at SoFi Stadium this time. And payback's going to be a bitch, hopefully. They have Trey Lance, who had a pretty good game. I love, everyone's got to be optimistic about their team, that's great, and all that stuff. But the Texans, they don't have nobody. It was his second game, so it is to be expected. He's mobile, so that helps him make some plays. We're talking about Trey Lance. There's still a lot to be desired there. He's a young quarterback. We'll see how it turns out, but the Texans didn't have anything to. They didn't have any. They couldn't fight back. So that was the perfect game to bring this guy out. The game, I just saw the highlights of it. I was looking at it here and there, in between our games, that we were worried about. But for the most part, he had an interception. He got 2 touchdowns at the end. But if it was a good team, hey, Jerry Ramirez. Yes, it's time to give them a taste of their own medicine. He says, "You're right, man, and we're due." It's totally embarrassing that we were 0-5 versus the 49ers. We should have had at least a couple of wins in there, a couple of Jared Goff games where Salah got him to make some mistakes, and and the division. That's the way division rivals go sometimes. Look at the 49ers can't beat the Seahawks for whatever reason. We roll out of bed and we beat the Seahawks. The 49ers have a hard time with the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are an up-and-coming team, and we split with them this year, and we smashed them at their place. But that's the way it goes sometimes. But it's definitely payback time. We are due. Let's just say this: the 49ers, I respect them because they have good coaching. They have Kyle Shanahan, and before they had Robert Saleh, who I have a lot of respect for. As a defensive coordinator, he's not there no more, and his fill-in is pretty good too. But we beat better teams than the 49ers as far as we beat the Bucks. Tom Brady. We beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals are always dangerous with their weapons. They had D-Hop. Look at the darn Cowboys couldn't do us a favor yesterday and beat the Cardinals. We have to take things in our own hands, which is fine. But it's just totally ridiculous that we're 0-5 against the 49ers. Hey, what's up, my brother Jay in the Bay? As we speak on that, I love my Niner brother Jay in the Bay. But he and my brother Jay would tell you that too. He can't understand why the Niners can't beat the Seahawks. And in my mind, the Seahawks have a lot of weapons, but it's basically the Russell Wilson show. And because they have an iffy running game here and there, their running backs get hurt, and but the Niners can't seem to beat them. But we have our guys that have been there. Jared Goff was a pretty decent quarterback with our weapons, and they're 5-0 against us, which is amazing. I mean, imagine this for both of these franchises. Yeah, that's right, Jay. He says some of them just have your number, but it is true. But there's no excuses. If you're going to play the game, you have to win. But the last time that we met up with the 49ers, we were looking forward to this game, and then a couple days before we play the 49ers at Levi, Robert Woods goes down. So there's a huge, and forget about the 49er game. And again, this is not an excuse, but I just want to give you the Rams frame of mind and the Ram fan frame of mind. We weren't even thinking about the 49er game at that point. It was a bummer that Robert Woods went down. But before the 49er game, yes, we wanted him to play for that game, but we were worried about the season. We were like, okay, we're all in for the Super Bowl. We had just gotten OBJ, Von Miller. We're on cloud 9, and then we get the news that Robert Wood tears his ACL. And imagine the players. I mean, they're professionals. They got to come out. But, the players for that 49er game, that's why I think that's one of the reasons why we laid such a bad egg is because we were reeling a little bit. And then you have the hungry 49ers who always get up for us anyway. They don't need to, um, and that's the way you should be. But they don't need any more stuff to egg on. But Kyle Shanahan seems to use his best scheming against the Niners, and then look at the Texan game. It's a rookie quarterback, granted, but his scheming wasn't very impressive in the beginning of that game. The game was close. Before the Niners took off, and the Texans don't have anything. They're basically fighting with kid gloves. Shanahan just seems to scheme his best against the Rams. He remembers the running game, whereas during the year, he'll forget about the running game, and he'll lose games that he's not supposed to. And he's not on his P's and Q's. But when he plays the Rams, he dusts off his playbook and goes after it, and that's what you're supposed to do. But it's amazing that the Niners don't have more wins because they have so much talent. And I say that I'm surprised that we're 5-0 because the Niners haven't won against other teams consistently with their injuries and the quarterback situation, because we're a quality team. I mean, we've got 5 straight years with a winning record, and and for them just to beat us all the time is horribly embarrassing. But also, if you were a betting guy, you'd be like, well, yeah, I'll take that all the time. A winning team versus a team that can't find itself or that's always injured. But props to them. They do what they have to do. But we are very due against this 49er team. They're always, they got guys like Debo. I love Debo and Ayuk at the wide receiver position. Their running back Mitchell. They have talent, but they haven't been able to put it together. In my opinion, Coach Shanahan is not a head coach. He's kind of like a nerve turner to me. He is a great mind as offensive coordinator. He comes up with some great schemes, but the Trey Lance situation, he's horribly mismanaged that. I mean, I think if they would have played Trey Lance, because he gives them the mobile opportunity to be another level of that offense, they could have the same record or better if they would have just pulled the Band-Aid off. You don't want to start him too early, but they could have had him in more games. I know that he got injured a little bit, but he horribly mismanaged this kid. They're trying to see. That's why he was so worried about playing against the Texans, because they're, basically if Trey, the Niners' hopes rest on Trey Lance. If Trey Lance does not turn out with the draft picks they gave up, and you're going to have, by the time Trey Lance is ready, you might not have Debo no more. You might not have Ayuk because their contracts will be coming up. Bosa might not be there because he's injury prone and all the wear and tear on his knees in year 2 and next year and the year after. By the time Trey, if he is going to turn out, is ready to come around, you're going to be losing those players. Kittle, he's a hell of a player. I love Kittle. There's another great player the Niners have. He's always beaten up. His wear and tear on his body. So the Niners, they rest on Trey Lance. Hey, Jay in the base, want to know the rule with the no community base. Trey Lance, he's got talent. And thank you, Jay. I missed the other one. Stafford's having an excellent year. Hopefully we can destroy. Man, Stafford's having a great year. He's as advertised for us, but he's been a little more injury prone than we would like the last 5 games. But he's a gunslinger. The one thing that we have to rein in, and it's hard because this is my opinion, there's no excuses. When you go out there, you got to perform. There's no excuses. You're a professional athlete. I get that way with the kickers. If that is my sole job to be a field goal kicker, our kicker, any kicker in the NFL, and you're a professional, then you should make 7 out of 10 kicks. You don't even have to be a Pro Bowler. You should make. That's like having a doctor. Well, I only lost 2 patients today. Come on now. That's your profession. That's what you practice. The elements are a factor. But if you have the talent to be a professional football player, a field goal kicker or quarterback or whatever, you should be able to make some plays or be effective in situations. And it's just amazing to me that these guys are in the NFL, and they don't perform. But But yeah, Matthew Stafford, he's been as advertised. I mean, look at our offense. We're averaging over 30 points a game. Cooper Kupp is having in his first year, Matthew Stafford's first year with McVay. Cooper Kupp's having a year for the ages. Breaking records left and right. He might finish as the all-time best game by receiver. He's got if he has a great game against the 49ers, he might come close to the Calvin Johnson record. He's already broken Jerry Rice records. Amazing Cooper Kupp. And this is the guy, remember, a lot of people like to kid us. You guys scored 3 points in the Super Bowl. Well, we had a beat up Todd Gurley, who is the main part of our offense. That's what helps draw the linebackers in when we do a play action. He was not himself, but then we were missing this guy, Cooper Kupp, arguably the best receiver in the NFL this year. We didn't have him for the Super Bowl. Remember that. So, you guys scored 3 points Super Bowl. Well, yeah, we're missing Cooper Kupp, and who does all the dirty work is the man who does everything, and Todd Gurley. So, unfortunately for Jared Goff and his tenure with the Rams, he didn't have those weapons really at his disposal. And, he was a young quarterback, and Belichick got the best of him, kind of like Robert Saleh did with the Niners. They made Jared Goff make mistakes and get him off his comfortable spot. Took away double team Woods and covered Cooks, and we couldn't score more. But Matthew Stafford, back to Matthew Stafford, he's as advertised, and it's not just for this year. We're all in for this year. We got Matthew Stafford and Von Miller. I love our front office and our head coach. And this is why I say with Shanahan is a hell of a coach, a hell of an offensive mind. Take nothing away from him. I'm not demeaning him in that respect. What I mean is he never takes responsibility. No one is perfect. Sean McVay is not a perfect coach. I don't like how he handled the Jared Goff situation personally. I don't mind that we got rid of him. I wish he would have went, who knows what really happens, but I wish he would have went man to man and told him, hey, look, Jared, we're going to go in a different direction, man. But, maybe, at that point, maybe, the deal wasn't done or whatever, but, but he always props up Jared Goff for the time that he's been here. But Shanahan, he never takes responsibility. At least McVay falls on the sword and says, hey, this is my fault for this loss. I didn't put guys in position to win, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You never hear that out of Shanahan. The guys, and that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to believe in yourself. But the guy's very arrogant, and and he shouldn't be, because the only thing he has with the 49ers so far is the one Super Bowl appearance. But other than that, it's been 4 losing seasons. And as a 49er fans, and my brother Jay and the Bay can attest, with that talent, they should have more wins despite the injuries, because everybody has injuries. Look at us. We're down Cam Akers, and we're down Robert Woods, and we're still 12-4 and ready to win a division next week if everything goes as planned. So there's no excuses, man. Kyle Shanahan's not making $5, to coach this Niner team, and the Niner fans, like the Ram fans, but especially the Niner fans, because they have the hardware, the 5 Super Bowls, and the Bill Walsh, all that stuff. They hired him not to have losing seasons. They hired him to get to the playoffs and get in there. And Jay has a good point. Most teams don't win with backup quarterbacks. That's true, but Shanahan drafted him. That's why that's another thing. Kyle Shanahan, he passed on a lot of good quarterbacks. The Mahomes and passed on Brady, passed on Well, he took too long to get Stafford. He hasn't been able to, these young quarterbacks. That's why I was worried about Trey Lance. Well, not worried, because that's not my team, but I was iffy about him bringing on a young quarterback, because he wasn't able to nurture the Mullins or the Beathards. Beathard is the guy that he drafted, I believe, and And so his track record when it comes to drafting quarterbacks isn't very good. Look at the way they got Trey Lance. Hopefully he turns out for my brother Jay. That's my Niner brother. But yeah, the team was in shambles when Shannon took over. Jimmy has only been healthy. No, that's true. Injuries are a major thing. But again, remember when the Niners got Jimmy G? Um, the Niners were 1-10, and I remember Levi Stadium being empty. And it's funny because they say, "Oh, we're going to take over SoFi Stadium." The Niners were 1-10 and in last place and no hope. And so he's right. But I remember Levi Stadium being empty as a doornail and quiet as a doornail, and Jimmy G came and resurrected them and it gave him hope. He won 5 straight games. I remember we sat our starters, and they made a big old deal. And they were at that time McVay was 3. He was let's see. I want to say he was. They had both just gotten there. The Rams had already swept the Niners, and then they beat him again, and they were 3-0. And then Jimmy G came in, and the Rams sat all their starters, and that's where they won at the LA Coliseum. And but also they were lucky to get Jimmy G. They gave him, Belichick did a favor because at that time he was mad with Robert Kraft because he wanted to get rid of Tom Brady and have Jimmy G be his guy. And they said no, so they basically gave him away for a 2nd-round pick. So he fell into Shanahan's lap. Imagine if they didn't even have Jimmy G. I mean, that was lucky that they did that. I mean, it is what it is. So they got him, and then he got him to a Super Bowl. But they've drafted well. They've had some mishaps with the Solomon Thomases and stuff. But Shanahan, he drafts guys that are hurt. He drafts guys with injury prone stuff. And so, it's luck of the draw. Everybody has injuries, but, nobody knows the future. Shanahan, is a great offensive mind, but I just don't think he's a good head coach. I mean, with all that talent, even with the injuries and the quarterback situation, he had a chance to get Stafford and he got cold feet. Imagine whatever Trey does is fine. We'll see. But you guys could have Matthew Stafford right now. He was a little slow on the trigger, or Tom Brady. Tom Brady with that talent. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Niner fans would trade a Super Bowl for the next few years. Trade a Super Bowl. Same thing with the Rams. The Rams would love to have a Super Bowl in LA right now, but you have to make decisions. But this Niner team, they have, even with the injuries and everything, with all that talent. They've been very underwhelming. They need to hopefully Trey Lance will work out for them. But they've had our number, so if they played us all the time, they'd have a great record. But that's the thing that kills me is they beat us and they play us so tough, and they're up for us. And then they go get beat by somebody and like, what the hell? That's not even, that team's not, doesn't have half the talent the Rams do. But that's just the way it goes, in the NFL. Nothing is a given. Just like we roll out of bed and beat the Seahawks. But I'm looking forward to this game because I got to tell you, we're due. I wouldn't be surprised if we win a close game, or I wouldn't be surprised if we just ran roughshod on the 49ers finally and get all of our frustrations out, because they've got us. They props to them. They're 5-0 against us. That's horribly ridiculous when you think about it. Despite all the talent they have, we should have a couple of wins mixed in here and there. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens, but they definitely have a great team. They got Bosa, they got Warner, my other dude, the linebacker, I forgot, Alshir Shair, whatever his name is. They all got speed. The thing that they got my boy Jimmy Ward there. Hopefully Cooper Kupp can get a touchdown on him for the stuff that he was saying at the beginning of the year. But their secondary can be had. Matthew Stafford needs to be careful with the ball, have more ball protection. We need to run the ball. We will probably have Cam Akers, and that's a thing that I wanted to address too. This Ram team, imagine we're 12-4. Um, hey, Jose Mejia, what's up, man? Yeah, we need to beat those damn Niners, he says. Yes, man. Yeah, and props to them, because if it was us, we'd be like, the Niners, we beat them 5 times in a row. I got to tell you, in all due respect to my Niner brother Jay in the Bay, and CG, and my brother Tommy Huxley, and I hate the Niners, but I respect them because they, despite the injuries, despite who's quarterback, they beat us. And so I'm like, damn, you're like, you looking at them like how the hell did you guys beat us? You guys can't. And then you go and lose to whoever it is, and you're like, so we're definitely due against the 49ers. Shanahan is a hell of an offensive mind and all that stuff, and they have great great defensive line like Bosa and the guys, and great linebackers. So because they've had a lot of good draft picks for a while. Like I said, they've only had one winning record in Shanahan's. This is their second winning record this year, but before that, the first 4 years they were one winning record. So they got a lot of draft picks, and they drafted pretty well as far as the guys on the line and the offensive weapons. I love Kittle. Debo's a beast. I can't believe it took Shanahan so long to figure out that to use him in the running game. As great as an offensive mind as Shanahan is, it took him a long time to figure out to put Debo as a running back, and to use him right. And then I don't know who their athletic trainer is, but with all these injuries, I don't know what's going on with that either. They need to hire a real. I was looking at their information for the athletic trainer, and their guy is basically the guy that they hired is basically an amateur. He doesn't have much experience at all. I don't know if they've changed it, but all these injuries, you would think they would change that. But props to them. I love their running backs. They lost running backs, and Shanahan does know how to draft running backs, and so that's what I'm looking forward to, is my man Cam Akers, baby. Imagine Cam Akers. Imagine this 12-4 Ram team with Cam Akers, Robert Woods, OBJ, Van Jefferson, Higbee. That's why, I want to win the Super Bowl this year. We're all in, but we're all in all the time. That's what the media don't listen to the media. They got to hype their show. It's like Skip Bayless. He'll say stupid stuff, and he gets viewers, and like somebody said, I can't remember, but they were saying, Skip Bayless is a genius because he has all these people that hate the guy. I don't hate him, but I hate the stuff that he says because he's such a Cowboy fan, bandwagoner, and Tom Brady ass kisser, and Tom Brady can do no wrong in his eyes, but he's smart because he turns that into millions of dollars to have that show, and all of his, and like I was saying, somebody said that he's a genius because Skip Bayless has all these haters. 90% of his followers on Twitter and all that stuff are haters of his, but he has them there following him. So he's a genius. So these media guys, they got to make a show. It's kind of like a magazine. They're going to put the most controversial topic, so you'll buy the magazine. The same thing with the shows. But make no mistake with the Rams, we're all in. If we don't win this year, we'll be one of 31 other teams that didn't make the Super Bowl or win it. We're all in. We're trying to win. We're doing what we need to do. Basically, we're getting guys that we believe can help us win the Super Bowl, and that's what you're supposed to do to win. Nothing's guaranteed. And guess what? If we don't win it this year, we'll be all in next year. So that's what the media hype, I wish I could sit there with them and say, well, look here, the Rams are all in. You're right. If they don't win it this year, guess what? Next year, we'll be all in again. Matthew Stafford's not going anywhere. Matthew Stafford's going to be here for a few years. Imagine Matthew Stafford in year one 36 plus touchdowns, 43,000 yards passing. Uh, uh, Basically, he's a Pro Bowl alternate. He should have been one of the Pro Bowlers, in my opinion, over Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray, he didn't play the full year. They still won without him. He's had a hell of a year in the beginning, but we beat him head to head. But besides that, Matthew Stafford has way more touchdowns, way more yards. It could stand where Matthew Stafford even wins the division and Kyler Murray wins Pro Bowl over him. You can take nothing away from him, but Matthew Stafford should have got it over him because Matthew Stafford has played banged up. He's been there the whole year. He's put up stats. Look at Cooper Kupp is having a record year, and that's the thing with the Matthew Stafford. You get the haters. Well, how many playoffs games did he win? This and that. Well, he's been in Detroit. How many playoff games have they won in their franchise history besides Matthew Stafford? When Matthew Stafford had a good team and a decent defense and decent head coaching, he's been to the playoffs. Guess what? When you're not a all-around great team, other teams beat you. So and there was one year when I think they played the Cowboys and they got a call and it went against them and they didn't get that, so they lost that game. But guess what? When you're with a good team, you'll have better. How many playoff? It's not the same because Matthew Stafford was there longer. He could have been an asshole and said, well, you know what, I want out of here in his year 8, and said, you know what, I'm tired of losing. I want out of here. But he's not that kind of guy. He's a loyal guy. He just goes out and does his job. He's not a problem maker. And but look at Steve Young. How many playoff games did Steve Young win with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? He came from the USFL. He was a hell of a talent. How many, imagine if he never went to the 49ers. Even with the 49ers, he only won one chip and they had to get Deion Sanders. As great as he was, they had to get Deion Sanders to get him over the hump against the Cowboys. So things happen for a reason. You're only as good as your teammates. And so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that Matthew Stafford rhetoric and hater is so stupid. Imagine the 49ers with Matthew Stafford right now. With Debo and that running game and that offensive line, they'd be where we are, sitting at 12-4 or maybe even better record, depending on how it goes. But yeah, I'm looking forward. This is Niner week. I just wanted to come in here and thank you guys for coming in, everybody, and I appreciate it. And Jose and Jay in the Bay and Jarrett. Yeah, this is a great time. Win, lose, or draw, we love our teams. The 49ers are a team to be reckoned with. They like I said, they have good talent, man. Despite the injuries. And the thing about that too, I want to address real quick. The 49ers, when we talk smack to each other and we go back and forth, we played you guys with our backups. Well, you guys have pretty good backups because most of your key guys have always, not most of them, but a lot of them have been hurt, and those backups have a lot of playing time. They're almost like B starters as far as their talent level is pretty good, and they get a lot of playing time because the starters are out. And guess what? When you have a lot of playing time, you improve. So, it is what it is. Sorry about that. But they're a decent team. They're a hell of a team. They have a lot of weapons, but we're due against this team. We're 0-5 versus them, and I think we're due. I'm gonna have more insight in the game preview, but like I said, I'm looking forward to it. The Niners have to beat us, or a Saints loss for them to make the playoffs. The Rams have to beat the Niners, or a Cardinals loss to win the division. But like I said, the Rams with Matthew Stafford are ready, are here to win the Super Bowl, and not just this year. The next year we'll be all in again. But now we're getting an infusion of Cam Akers. I wish Robert Woods was there, but OBJ is getting acclimated. In 6 games, he has 5 touchdowns. Amazing. So, we just we can't turn the ball over. Matthew Stafford needs to not be not, you know, you don't have to take, that's okay to take some chances, but you know, like some of the deep balls, you know, they're trying to get OBJ the ball, you know, refrain from that a little bit. You know, that's one thing. The only thing problem that I've had with Matthew Stafford is the turnovers recently, but that's something that can be fixed, and that's a mark of a good team. You know, your quarterback, you know, they get in there and they make them fumble, and they get a couple of picks, they get a pick six, and we still win. That's a mark of a good team. Yeah, Johnny G. Hopefully the Rams can send them packing home. Yeah, the Dodgers and Giants. Yeah, I'm a Dodger fan too, and yeah, that would be amazing. You know, we owe them because you know, they've been 5-0 against us, and I would love nothing better to beat them and knock them out of the playoffs. And plus, I don't want to play them again in the playoffs because, you know, until McVay, you know what? I'm not even going to say that. No, I do want to play them in the playoffs. I'd love to beat them twice. I love to beat them, and then if they get in, then beat them again in the playoffs. You know, that's just me. You know, I want to beat whoever's there. I want to beat whoever's, you know, the best team. But we definitely owe them. And you know, and but yeah, like I said, the Rams have a way to win the division. We're 12-4. We got Matthew Stafford. Cooper Kupp is having a year for the ages. Golly, this guy's so good. OBJ's getting acclimated to the offense. Van Jefferson has matured. Everything is looking up for the Rams. I love my boy Greg Gaines, number 91, keeping that jersey number alive. The spirit of Rams legend Kevin Green, the Hulkster. You know, he used to sit back. I used to be at Anaheim Stadium and get autographs from Kevin Green, and he'd stay back. Him and Jerome Bettis, the battering Ram. They used to stay back and give us autographs, and hell of a guy, rest in peace. But Greg Gaines is doing justice to that number 91 jersey. I love the guy. The guy's got a high motor. We might get Sebastian Joseph Day back too. So this you know, and that's why I say the media, you know, like we were talking about injuries. Oh yeah, that was a hell of a clutch play on OBJ. Yes, Johnny G says OBJ's been clutch on crucial third and fourth downs. That's the talent that this guy has, OBJ. That was a hell of a pass. And see, that's the thing too. As bad as Stafford played at times in that game, the pick six killed me, but you know, that was just a good play. And the deep pass, he didn't need to do that, but it's like a punt. But still, it goes on his thing as an interception, right? But because he had Van Jefferson in the flat, if he would have just looked down, he would have had at least 20, 30 yards. Van Jefferson would have been running. But OBJ came through, but so had Stafford. You know, this is why we got Matthew Stafford. That last drive, the man was not going to be denied. And you know, he's one of the active quarterbacks. As a matter of fact, he's the one active quarterback in the NFL that has the most fourth quarter comebacks, and that's with Detroit mostly. So this is why we got him. Look at that drive that he did at the end. I wasn't happy with the 2-point conversion play. We did it against the Packers where we flip it up to the guy coming across. You know, I would have been happier with the quick strike to OBJ or a Cup in the corner somewhere in the middle, or a Higbee. The old Jim Everett to Damone Johnson bread and butter play, where the tight end lines up here like he's going to block and chip somebody, and falls down, right? Not really fall down, but kind of take a knee like you're falling down, and then get up and run out, you know, to the end zone and turn around and get hit right there. That was the old bread and butter play. Jim Everett would hit Damone Johnson in the back of the end zone, or in the front of the end zone, and get the touchdown, or a touchdown usually. Not really too many 2-point conversions back in the day, but you know, at all, because of the rule changes. But yeah, man, OBJ with the clutch plays. This guy's a hell of a talent, and that's what I mean about this. You know, this Rams team and coach and culture and GM. You know, we want to win, and we're doing what we need to be. You know, we're doing what we need to do. Rather, we get players that we need. You know, we got Sony Michel. That's another thing. You know, in my mind, GM Les needs to get executive of the year. I mean, look, we pulled a hat, we pulled a rabbit out of her. As again, that's the media and other fans. Oh, they're getting rid of their future, getting rid of these picks. Well, no, we get known commodities for draft picks. You know, we got Sony Michel when Cam Akers went down, and what if we didn't? Look at how he's played. He's even better than we thought, and he's more physical than we thought. So imagine him with Cam Akers. Goodness gracious. So, you know, this is a great time to be a Ram fan. This is a great time to be on board with what we're doing here. We want to win the Super Bowl this year for sure. We're all in, and you know, but it's not just this year. We'll be all in next year. We'll be all in the year after. You know, Jared Goff and Todd Gurley's cap money comes off the books. We'll be able to extend Matthew Stafford. We have, I believe, Les Needs said we have 8 compensatory picks because of the free agent guys that we lost. So don't the media against us. We don't have any draft picks. We have at least, I want to say 4 to 8 draft picks next year in the second and third rounds, and we've been drafting great. Hey, my brother, Niner brother, Tommy Huxley, bring out the broom, he says. Yeah, you know, that better not happen, Tommy. I'll be pissed, just like you were pissed with the Dodgers and with the Dodgers beating the Giants. But yeah, that's my Niner brother, Tommy Huxley, and my USC brother. You know, guys, give him props because he's a USC fan too. No, man, you know what? You guys look good. The kid, we don't have enough on him. I wish Shanahan would have put him out there more so we have more film on him. But yeah, you know, I really think they mismanaged him because I think you guys would have had the same record or better with the kid in there. At least play him here and there. You know, hey, you're going to start the second half or whatever. You know, and you know, Jimmy G's been a professional. He hasn't been bitching about anything. And yes, he says, hey, we're going to the national championship, my brother. Yes, USC finally has their coach. You know, and it's funny because our little brothers, UCLA, and you know, this is just me having fun. My Ram fan and Niner fans, and if they like USC, you know, they've been a stick in our ass as far as going head to head. They got us good this last time, but we haven't had players, you know, and I always kid my friends that are UCLA fans. Yeah, we've been down for a few years, but you guys still don't win. So, you know, win something, you know. So we have our coach now. We'll be back to the winning style, and yes, we want to beat Notre Dame and Stanford and UCLA. Yeah, man, Helton to be fired. Yes, it's a great time because we have our coach now, and we'll see what happens. You know, like I'm a Los Angeles homer because I've been in Southern California all my life. Dodger fan, Ram fan. LA Kings, Laker fan for sure. Magic Johnson was my favorite player. Kobe Bryant right next to him. USC football. Don't really follow the Galaxy or soccer or anything much. But yeah, when the Rams came back to Los Angeles, you know, I'm sorry for my St. Louis Ram brothers and sisters, the Ramelia in St. Louis. I was happy because the way they left, it was very heartbreaking, and heartbreaking for you guys too. But like we would always say, it was loyalty over location. And, you know, so in my mind, there'll always be the Los Angeles Rams, even though they were originally from Cleveland. But it doesn't matter where the Rams play. It's all about loyalty over location, like we would say. And we're all Ramelia, you know, we all, and that's another word for it, just in case you didn't know. Ramelia is a play on Ramley or family related to our team. You know, we're all brothers and sisters, Ram fans. And, you know, and so we call it Ramelia. Some people say Ramley, I say Ramelia. And that's why I have my Ramelia Sports Report, you know, as Ram Family Sports Report. And so that's what it means. You know, not, Ram Nation or whatever people say that, but that's kind of the Raiders thing to me. Oh, yeah, you got to watch that movie, Tommy. Tommy says he wants to watch the Kurt Warner story. Man, that's one thing about the Rams. You know, they you know they got a lot of history behind them. You know, there's another movie called Heaven Can Wait with He was my rival. Tommy says he was my rival, and I always respect him as a human being and player. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's always been a great guy. The Kurt Warner story, even if you're not a Ram fan, it's a great story. Um, no spoilers, but most of the stuff in the movie is is when he was getting there to the pros and what happened, and that way you learn about the man and his wife and what happened with his family, and he's just a great guy. But you'll love that movie, Tommy. It's a great movie. The Kurt Warner story, basically the American underdog. It's a great story, man. I wish we never would have got rid of. I blame Mike Martz for getting rid of Kurt Warner. He should have retired. He should have retired a Ram, but it is what it is. But you'll also have a newfound respect for Mike Martz. Just no spoilers. We respect him he was another guy as a great offensive mind, but he wasn't a great head coach, in my opinion. Mike Martz. I wish Vermeil would have stayed on a couple more years, and we maybe would have got another Super Bowl. But you'll have more respect for Mike Martz the way they handled Kurt Warner. I'm just going to say that. No spoilers alert. We already know what happens in the end. And the one thing that's funny, too, to my Arizona Cardinal brothers is there's no spoilers, but there's no mention of the Cardinals in there. I love it. So as far as we know, that's not canon. That's not NFL canon. Kurt Warner was never an Arizona Cardinal. No, just kidding. But yeah, so there's no spoilers. Hey, sorry about that. My phone overheated. I have it in the sun. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to this game. Trey Lance is as advertised. The guy's mobile. Hold on, let me turn my air off. The guy's mobile, and he's got a strong arm. Shanahan knows how to use him in the running game. The guy that I really like in the running game is Mitchell. But yeah, so here we are again, Niners and Rams, and so we'll see what happens. Let me turn this camera around. Yeah, the damn phone overheated, Tommy. I parked off to the side, and the damn thing said it's overheating. So yeah, so back to the Kurt Warner story real quick. No spoilers, but they don't mention the Cardinals. So in my mind, just like the Star Wars canon or whatever, the Kurt Warner never played for the Cardinals. Just kidding. But yeah, they don't mention the Cardinals in that game. But yeah, Tommy says his Cam Akers playing. Yeah, he's gonna play. Supposedly, he was gonna play this last game, so he may play part time. We'll see how much he plays. They probably would like for him to get his feet wet and get back into the speed of things. We're going to use him in the playoffs sparingly. We don't want to push it because it's really amazing that he's come back. I mean, he looks just about at full, over 90% with his agility and everything. And so I really love the guy. Oh, cool. Hey, that's good. Yeah, go ahead, Tommy. I'm going to get out pretty soon, man. I appreciate you coming in. I got chewed out by my girlfriend because I went to grab something to eat, and I got on real quick, and then I started talking to you guys because we could always talk football, and but yeah, it's going to be a good game. We are definitely due against the 49ers, man. Like I said before, I hate the 49ers, but I respect them because they beat us. And thank you, Tommy. Tommy says hit the light, guys. The 49ers are a team to be reckoned with. They have all that talent. They got Debo, Ayuk. I really love those two guys. They're running backs. They have a whole plethora of running backs in the stable. Now they got a mobile quarterback, and even though he's young, he can overcome some of that with his mobile ability and be able to open up plays when things die down and outrun pass rushers to the corner to get out of bounds. And get a gain out of nothing, but he is a young quarterback, and so hopefully we'll be able to exploit some of that. But yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great game. The Niners are fighting for their playoff life. If the Saints win, they're still in, I think. Um, and the Rams are fighting for the division. And right now, as we speak right now, we're the second team seeding. Yeah, Tommy. But for some reason, against the certain teams though, like the Ravens, I really like that Huntley. He says the Rams are good against mobile teams like Wilson. Uh, um, yeah, against Wilson we are, but it's kind of like you guys. You guys can roll out of yeah. uh, you guys can roll out of bed. Um, he said the Beagles got him in his bullshit. You guys can roll out of bed and play good against us, and we can roll out of bed and play good against the Seahawks. And meanwhile, the Seahawks give you guys problems. It's just matchups and just I don't know, karma, whatever it is. Teams, like you said, sometimes teams have your number. But like the Ravens, I really like that kid. And who knows from one game, right? I don't watch the Ravens, but that kid looks good. I mean, that kid has a quick release. He's accurate. He's very mobile. They didn't miss anything with Lamar Jackson. I know Lamar Jackson has more experience, but I mean, man, I was looking at it, I was like, man, they can actually trade Lamar Jackson, get some draft picks, and keep this Huntley kid. He looked really good against us. Mobile quarterbacks are a pain in the ass for defense. We've been able to corral Kyler Murray because he's a smaller guy and all that stuff. And yeah, Tommy says, I know football is just weird. The Seahawks have owned us for years. Yeah, it's weird because, you guys have beat us left and right 5 times in a row. And I would have thought, well, and that's Jared Goff's fault. Well, it's a team game, but I say fault because basically he let Mullins and guys like that out duel him, because they were ugly games. Some of them, we'd lose like 23-16 or something, and because of turnovers, Saleh had Goff's number as far as that's concerned. He was able to confuse Goff and make him make mistakes, and then you guys would pull it out. But it's weird how we haven't won 1 or 2 of those games in the 5 games. That's the thing that's weird. But because we're a good team, and I'm not biased. We are a good team. Our record shows that we beat other teams and good teams, but for the last 5 years. But it's weird how we haven't at least got 1 or 2 in there. But it's just the way things grow sometimes. Hopefully we'll end this time. But I didn't see what you said right now. Dang it! Hold on. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to this game. I'm gonna have another live soon, and I just want to get in here and talk about it. I'm excited about it. The 49ers. I want to play the best team, and I want the 49ers to play their best. I was hoping at another shot at Garoppolo. We'll see what happens. The guy, because we've been in this losing streak against the Niners, he's either been hurt and hasn't played and give us the chance to beat him, or he's beat us. Like in 2019, he made the plays to, 3rd down long. We were the Niners' best team at Santa Clara. It was a back and forth game, and the Niners got us. I think it was 31-34. Jimmy G made the deep passes, ironically, that he couldn't hit in the Super Bowl. He hit against us. Jalen Ramsey and Taylor Rapp had a mishap. I think it was mostly Taylor Rapp who got shoved by Jalen Ramsey in this last game. Taylor Rapp is a athletic guy, but he drives me nuts, and he probably drove Ramsey nuts. He didn't handle it right, and he kind of shoved him, and it was a little altercation, but they got over it. That's what happens, you're on the basketball court or football court like myself. I don't put my hands on anybody, but I look at him like, come on, goddammit. That was one of those things. So, hey, Willie Bowen, horns up, man. LA Rams are victorious. Yes, man. We won an ugly win on the road. The Ravens were, they were at home too, so they were egged on by our turnovers, and that one guy came back, number 36, and intercepted two picks, and he was out all this time. And of course, he comes back for us and has the game of his life. Stafford threw it up for grabs against OBJ, hoping to connect with them, and he shouldn't have threw that. And he got a deep interception, and then he got a pick six where he made a hell of a play. Stafford didn't look him off, and he tried to throw a dart, and he stepped in front of him and got a pick six. But those are the things that Stafford needs to cut down. He's been as advertised. That last drive that OBJ and Stafford were hit on. OBJ's been clutch for us. That's what we got him for, to make those. Stafford is the fun fact. I said it before, that Stafford is the one active quarterback that has the active quarterback that has the most fourth quarter comebacks in NFL history is Matthew Stafford, and he did another one with us with the Rams this time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Rams show up this time, because the last time, and make no excuses, they had beat us 4 times before. The last time we were 2 days away from Cooper getting the news that Robert Woods was going to be out for the season, and so we were reeling for that, and then boom, we have a hungry Niner team, and they were chomping at the bit, and they bit us in the ass for the 5th time in a row. But we were reeling from the Robert Woods news. We were thinking about the Niner game at that point. We still wanted to win, of course, but we were like, God damn it, we were wanting to get to the Super Bowl, and now Robert Woods is out. So in my mind, the team wasn't in their right mind. They should have been, because they're professionals, but I could understand. Robert Woods is him and Cooper Kupp are huge pieces of the pillar to our offense. They do everything. They block, they run jet sweeps, they do everything. Hard-nosed players, team leaders, and so it was a blow to us. So I'm interested to see how we come out at SoFi Stadium, and I'll be there in person with the rest of the Remelia tailgating, and I'm going to have some 49er guys on there too, and hopefully I'll see you guys there. Jay in the Bay, hopefully you can come down, man, if you're still there. My stream got cut off. I'd love to meet you in person, brother, and my other Niner brothers, and may the best team win. I want the best Niner team out there. I want any of the better teams I want to play all of them. I don't want no excuses. I want us to beat everybody. But yeah, Robert Woods, I really love Robert Woods, in my mind, I love Sean McVay as our coach, but I think when he first got here, he didn't understand, because him and Shanahan are buddies. So I'm sure that, Shanahan ribs him for having 5 games in a row. And then, McVay probably comes back, yeah, well, we made the playoffs, they go back, like us as fans. But I don't think he understood the rivalry of the 49ers, because there's been some times where it doesn't look like we're ready to go against the 49ers. We need to come all out, play some Rocky. Willie Bone says Rams house, yes, SoFi Stadium. You got to play some fucking Rocky music or something. We need to come out flying, be aggressive. And here's the keys with I'm going to do this another video, but here's my keys to victory for the Rams. And it was not just this game, but what we should have been doing. Double team Kittle, especially on 3rd down. Ramsey on Debo, or vice versa. Switch it up. Double team Debo, and put Ramsey on Kittle. That way, at least even if he catches it, he can knock it away or tackle him right there. And then still keep an eye on Ayuk. Put Darius Williams on Ayuk. On 3rd down, get physical with the receivers, and mix it up though too, so they can't see that coming. Get physical, delay. Now with the mobile quarterback, it's different, because Jimmy G's more of a statue. It works better, but delay the receivers getting off and Kittle getting off of the line, especially if like a 3rd and 6, a 3rd and 8, and allow Donald and Floyd and Von Miller to get home. If you delay them from getting off the line so they can't do a quick hit, we can get home and we can knock the ball out of his hand or sack him. That's what we need to do. And the running game, just they have a good running game. They have a decent offensive line, a really good offensive blocking line, more so than a passing line. The Niners have. We gotta not let them get big runs. I saw that Lance has a big arm, so he has a slower release, but he can adjust that as he gets more experience. They have to work. That's the thing about Shanahan. That's what I was saying. Who knows behind the scenes, but they can work on his throws, um, but the mobile thing can help overcome stuff. But yeah, guys that have to draw back. That's why Jimmy G was effective against us, because he can flick it. He doesn't have a strong arm, but if you let him throw down in the middle, inside the numbers, he's effective. Um, is your O line going to double Bosa, or do you? Well, to me, Tommy, um, we'll leave. We'll just have to chip Bosa. He's going to get what he's going to get, kind of like Donald, but Donald plays in the middle, so it's not easier, but it's more bunched up. So guys can chip on Donald, two old linemen, and that'll free up somebody else. But so even though it says Donald didn't get no sacks, or he doesn't have any hurries, he's taking up two guys, and so the other guys get home, or he even though it's not in the stats, he causes havoc that way. But no, we normally chip Bosa on the way out, and leave it to Whitworth, Big Whit, and then it's up to Stafford to understand the situation and down and get rid of the ball. And so we'll see what happens. And Tommy says AD is a disruptor. Yeah, man, this guy, even if he wasn't a Ram fan, Aaron Donald, and that's the thing, Tommy, as a Ram fan, we always bitch about the refs sometimes as fans. But here's a guy that's basically the Michael Jordan of defensive linemen, right? He's one of the best to ever play. I'm the same way when I'm on my phone. If I don't have my glasses, I can't see shit, and I text the wrong thing, or the spell check takes it. Aaron Donald does not get the calls. That's killing me. I'm sure that you guys get the same thing with Bosa. Aaron Donald's in the interior, though. So check this out. So you have Aaron Donald. He's getting in there. One guy's pulling on his shoulder pad, grabbing him, and the other guy's hitting him, and you don't get no calls, especially against the Packers. There was a couple of scoring plays where Aaron Donald was being held, and of course they can call that almost on every down. But this guy is basically the Michael Jordan of defensive linemen. Three times in a row, Defensive Player of the Year, and he doesn't get calls. He's got a couple in the last few games, but I'm like, what the fuck? If that was Jerry Rice or Cooper Kupp getting held, Debo getting held, they're going to call that for the offensive players, but the defensive guys don't get no love. But yeah, Bosa, Donald, god damn it, against the Packers, they're a good team, and you can't give them chances. But if you have a guy that can disrupt Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Donald, we can, and they're not giving us the fucking call, and they're holding them. God damn it, dude! Like, our secondary can only do so much, and this idiot Aaron Rodgers is so fucking accurate. He's a pain in the ass, and he's a damn diva. But goddamn, man, if I was McVay, I'd play, like I said before, I would play some psychology with these guys. Hey, I'm really glad we got this refereeing crew. I really love how they don't miss calls against Donald. Hopefully, we'll be able to keep that up. And even before the game, I say, this team likes to hold Donald, especially on third downs. If you guys can look for it, you guys do a hell of a job, and smack them on the ass. Something, get in their fucking head. That's one thing that some of the coaches do, is get in their head and have them look for stuff. That's a smart move. And it's like, we hate how Brady bitches to the refs, but he gets calls because of that. You can't touch Brady, but he always bitching to the refs, and they don't want to hear it from him, so they start calling shit. But yeah, I would love for McVay to do that shit with the referees and say, you know what, these guys like to do this or whatever on third downs. If you can take a look at it. Here we go, third down. Hey, whatever his name is. Let's say the referee's name is Andy. Hey, Andy, third down, man. Remember what we were talking about? Because goddamn, there was a couple of plays where they got scoring plays or big plays, and like they were holding them. Shit, what are you looking at? And then they called on us. But here's a couple of keys for the Rams. I'll speak on this again. We now have a special team returner that's dangerous. Number 19. He's been a hell of a find. He gets us in scoring position before we would just give it up. Hey, my brother Ruthless. Yeah, but hey, I'm sorry I wasn't able to get back to you. I can do that anytime. I'm gonna message you my email. I'll send it to you. And yes, we can. CG, my Niner brother CG. But so we have a return game now, and on special teams, and our kicker, our field goal kicker, Matt Gay is a Pro Bowler, and but our special teams is now doesn't suck. We're really good on special teams and returning. And I don't like how we put Cooper Kupp back there because he's too important. But I really love that kid. Was it Brandon Powell? I think is his name. My mind is blank right now. But yeah, number 19 is a hell of a kick returner. I love having him. He's a weapon. And so, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. We definitely are due. We'll see what happens. The Niners always play us tough, and but I would love for us to get this victory and get the division. CG says funny. Last name makes sense with the LA sponsors. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. God damn it, the 49ers are 5-0 against us. It's hard for me to say. It's like Tommy Huxley, my USC brother and Niner fan brother. If there's somebody said, "Oh, UCLA beat you 5 times in a row," we'd be like, "What the fuck? How the fuck does that happen?" CG is a Ram fan. He knows it. But no, we're all like my brother Niner sickness, and it wouldn't be any fun. If the Rams have had their luck with this division, and as far as the Seahawks and Cardinals, check this out. So the Rams usually always beat the Seahawks or split with them, and then the Rams before they beat us earlier in the year. Matt Gay. Oh, I see. Yeah, Matt Gay's Pro Bowl kicker. Yeah. Now I see what you're saying. At first I was like, okay. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So the Rams usually beat the Seahawks, and they had great success against them. And then before the Cardinals beat us at SoFly, we were 8-0 against them. The only team that's been a pain in the ass in our side in the NFC West, as good as it's been, is the fucking Niners. And you would think they would be the team that wouldn't be as pain in the ass because a lot of their players have been out here and there. We beat the Cardinals and we beat the Seahawks for the most part, with everybody healthy. So that's the NFL for you. Meanwhile, the 49ers have their problems with the Seahawks and here and there with the Cardinals. So it's just amazing how that works, but it wouldn't be fun it would be great for a time if we run roughshod over everybody and swept everybody in our vision all the time. But, this is what makes the NFL fun, and then, the goddamn, excuse my language, the damn Cowboys, we needed them to win. I don't want to hear about Dak Prescott and CG Lamb and all these guys. Come on, dude. Really? You have a reeling Arizona Cardinals team without DeAndre Hopkins, and you can't fucking beat them at Jerry's World. You can't fucking give us a fucking a helping hand here. We would be division champs right now if the fucking Cowboys would have won. God damn it. And I got a buddy who he goes back and forth. He likes to talk smack, and it's good, all in good fun, but he likes to talk smack about Stafford and this and that, and Stafford deserves the last couple of games, but we've been winning. That's a mark of a good team. He's getting a little. He's gotten a little gunslingerish. He doesn't need to do that. He's not in Detroit. He's got some bad habits right now, but he showed why we got him. He made that last beautiful drive, and OBJ. That's why we got him, and that's why we got to love Les Snead. We need somebody. We didn't know that Woods was going to go out. We got OBJ. We needed a running back to help Henderson because he's injury prone. In the running game, we got Sony Michel. Amazing front office we have. So, but yeah, Matthew Stafford has been great. But yeah, the damn Cowboys, man. And Dak Prescott, I don't want to hear nobody talk about this guy no more, man, because he's a great talent. But god damn it, dude, we needed you to beat the Cardinals, and you couldn't do it. Yeah, but I don't like to win that way, CG. He says if you lose To us, you might get the division. Well, two things. I don't want to lose to you guys, number one. No more. But number two, I don't want to back in like that. I want us to win it, you know. The one thing that would be wonderful, though, CG and my Niner brother, Tommy Huxley, tell me if it was the other way around, if this would be beautiful. I'm thinking about it. Let's say we beat you guys. We're division champs, and they hand out the division champ hats while you guys are on our field. Oh, man, that would be beautiful. You guys can't deny us that. Come on now. You guys, that'll be beautiful. You guys are looking across at us, possibly knocked you guys out of the playoffs, and we have our division hat on. Oh, that would be beautiful. Oh, man. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I don't take, you know, like I used to talk smack with guys back and forth with the 49ers, but you know, this is back when the 49ers were before 2019. And then 2019 came, and we had offensive line problems, and the Niners were up and coming, yeah, you guys, the Saints lose would be great. Yeah, and then you guys might place in the playoffs. That'd be amazing. You know, I'd love that. I'd love for you guys to come to SoFly for a playoff game, and that'd be great. It'll be yeah, you know, I used to go back and forth because hey, Battle Ram, yeah, Dak, you know, okay, I'm gonna say this. Dak Prescott is a hell of a talent. He's a hell of a player, right? But he's been very hold on, I'm gonna turn my air on because the damn phone's getting hot again. He's been Dak Prescott with the Cowboys. You know, they talk about Matthew Stafford, you know, the haters. Oh, well, you know, he how many playoff games did he win? Right? Well, he's been with Detroit. Now imagine Matthew Stafford with the Cowboys, with Ezekiel Elliott and that offensive line they had, and he didn't win no playoff games. That'd be different. Dak Prescott, he's won a playoff game here or there. I think he's won one. We knocked him out of the playoffs. But he's been very underachieving with the Cowboys, in my opinion. Even though he's a great talent, he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. But yeah, man, he would drive me nuts if I was a Cowboys fan, because you know they haven't beat, and that's probably some of it's coaching. You know, they got the retread Mike McCarthy, you know, and you know, Jerry Jones. As long as he's there, he's only going to get yes men coaches. You know, he's not going to get guys who can help change the culture. And so even though they were very lucky to get Parsons for him to turn out. Imagine that defense without Parsons, you know. But props to him for drafting him. And, you know, Dix is a good quarterback, but he gives up a lot of yards too. He's hit or miss, but he's got all those interceptions. But yeah, man, we needed the damn Cowboys to win for us, and they couldn't handle it. You know, I always say if the Cowboys were in the NFC West, they'd be last or close to last, you know. But we'll see what happens the rest of the way. But in the NFL, anything can happen. You know, Tom Brady's been able to get away a couple times. Sorry about that. They could have had a couple more losses. And so yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm expecting a great game. I'm gonna have another live, and guys, I'll try to let you know when I'm gonna come on so we can talk about it. It's always fun talking football, and you know, I appreciate you guys coming in, you know, Battle Ram and CG, my brother CG and Tommy Huxley, and Jarrett, and my brother Willie Bowen, and yeah, this is fun, you know, just coming in. I just came to get lunch. My brother Johnny G, Jose Mejia, my brother Jay in the Bay, Jared Ramirez. Thank you guys for coming in. But yeah, I'm gonna post some more. We can talk about it too. CG, AB. I hope he doesn't have mental situation, man. Hopefully he just got pissed because they had sat him, and I guess he had some incentives. It comes out that he wasn't gonna reach, and so he just threw a fit. But it's still not right. But he looks like something's wrong. He looks like there's something wrong mentally, because he's got in trouble, everything. He got in trouble in the college, I think it was, or high school. And then he had problems with the Raiders. and then and on and on. And now with the Bucks, and luckily they got a Super Bowl out of it. But that guy is something else, man. It's kind of like Deshaun Jackson. I'm not going to put him in AB's thing, but we got a Deshaun Jackson, and he knew he wasn't going to be the main guy. We signed him with incentives, and we expected him to be a team player, and he started bitching about he couldn't make the starting lineup on our because he's an older guy, but he was a situational receiver. And he started bitching about he's not going to play over Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson's a young buck, and he's up and coming receiver. And so he couldn't break the starting lineup and get more opportunities, but he would have got him in the playoffs. And as the things go, injuries, whatever, but he didn't want to wait, so we had to release him. If guys don't want to be here, fuck you then. You're out of here. We'll get rid of you. I appreciated what we had him. I love that we had him. He was a weapon. But if you don't want to be here, we don't need you, Now he's with the Raiders, and we'll see even if they make the playoffs, He would be sitting here with us at 12-4 in the guaranteed playoff spot. I think the Raiders made it, I don't know. But still, we're a better team than they are. But so I'm glad we got OBJ. But yeah, AB, I hope he's okay. Hopefully he just got pissed. We'll see what happens. But yeah, CG, well, I'm gonna get lunch, and then I'm gonna hit you up, man. If you wanna, we can collaborate anytime you want, man. Just let me know. If you wanted to do today, that's fine. My email is rameliasports at gmail.com. I'll just go ahead and tell you right here, and just let me know, man. You can go ahead and post it. I'm going to come on there. If you want to do it today, that's fine, because I'm off today. And so I wasn't expecting to be here this long, but all the brothers came in, and my Ram and Niner brothers, and it's been great. It's always good talking football. But yeah, just let me know, man. Battle Ram says both LA and the Bay didn't want the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders, they have a lot of bad blood. They were trying to do the Carson deal with the Chargers. The Raiders, a little known fact, is Mark Davis is he's one of the low bar owners when it comes to echelon. You have the Jerry Joneses, you have the Rams owner, Stan Kroenke, the guys with money, the Robert Krafts, the guys that make the most of the decisions. The other guys are mostly yes men. The Steelers owner, Mark Davis is the lower tier owner in respects to money. He's always selling minority interests in the Raiders because they need the cash for whatever. The Chargers and Dean Spanos too is a lower tier owner. The guy basically pays us rent. It's $1. Remember, he pays us $1 because that was part of the bargaining. For the Rams to come back to LA, the Chargers have to be our little brother and be with us. Hey Nathan, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. Come in. So we had to have the Chargers with us to come back to Los Angeles as one of the bargaining tools, because Dean Spanos, the owners, were bitching about coming to LA. Yeah, Stafford coming in clutch, Nathan says, and so OBJ and Vaughn. Yes, I forgot. Thank you for that. Von Miller with the clutch sack. Hey, my brother Peyo, I hope you're feeling better, man. I'm glad you're Ram tough, baby. I'm coming from COVID. But yeah, so we had to get the Chargers with us in SoFi Stadium. They pay us rent, so we can still kid them. Hey, you better have our rent on time. But they pay us $1 until they find their own place. So we had to come with us. But they were the Raiders. Oh, good. Peyo says he's feeling 1,000% better. Good, man. Good job. Thank you, man. I'm glad. I was worried about you. I'm glad you're better. But yeah, so we had to take the Chargers on with us, and so that was one of the deals coming to Los Angeles. Nathan says, you think we beat the Niners this week? Yeah, I really do, because they're playing a rookie quarterback. We don't have much film on them, but we also are so due to beat them, number one. And number two is we really need this game, and hopefully McVay will come up with a scheme. Run the damn ball, play action pass, run at Bosa, get our guys going right after Bosa. Look at the back end, the second tier, so those linebackers don't come from behind. Smack them, and that's where Cooper Kupp and the guys, the receivers, can help just to get in the way. So it can leave Sony Michel and Cam Akers, who's scheduled to play this game. I haven't heard anything. It'll be a limited fashion, but he's scheduled to play. So yes, we can definitely win this game. We're very due. But back real quick what I was saying. So the Chargers, we had to bring them with us, and they had a Carson deal on the board with the Raiders. They were going to team up to have a deal in Carson Stadium, and Jerry Jones was instrumental in with Stan Kroenke and going with the owners to go on the Rams side. And as one of the deals for the Rams to be able to come back to Los Angeles was we had to have the Chargers with us. So they pay us $1 rent and some of the gate and the proceeds, the concessions and the money. And but if there's any events at SoFi Stadium, make no mistake, that's our stadium. If there's any events or concerts or whatever, the Olympics venues, anything that's not football related, it's not Ram related, that money goes to the Rams. That's our stadium. So you know, but yeah, so that's how that worked out. But yeah, man, the 49er game, I'm looking so forward to it, guys. I really appreciate it. But yeah, CG, hit me up, man. Let me know if you want. Like, we can do today or Wednesday morning. We can do it too before we go. I'm gonna go to Disneyland and with the family, maybe about 1 or 2. So maybe before then, 11, something like that. Battle Ram says Carson deal was never going to happen. NFL will never allowed to. Yeah, that's right too. That's a good point. 2 AFC West teams in the same city. The best ideal would have been the Raiders and Rams, because of the Raiders. You know, they never left Southern California. Well, they never left California. Excuse me. They were from NoCal. Because they're AFC and the Rams are NFC. So, but the NFL, because of the bad blood and because of the bad reputation, some of the fans, rightly or wrongly so, they didn't want him in Los Angeles. Really, the Rams are more marketable, family-orientated franchise, in my opinion. And also, just to give you an idea, the Rams are the 4th rated highest franchise according to Forbes magazine and worth. The Niners are right on our heels on 5th rated franchise according to Forbes magazine, NFL franchise worth. The Raiders are something like 12th franchise worth, to give an idea in the pecking order. So when they say, oh, you know, the Raiders run LA, or okay. In the corporate world or the real world, the Rams are considered a higher franchise, at least as far as worth. And also the stadiums, there's no comparison, even though they have a new stadium. It's a beautiful stadium, but we have the greatest stadium in the NFL. If you guys are able to come down, my Niner brother Jay and Tommy Huxley and CG, it's an amazing stadium, man. You guys will love this stadium. I expect to see a lot of 49er faithful out there, because especially they've had our number. If we would beat them all the time and beat them over and over again, it wouldn't be as bad. But yeah, so you know, but we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to tailgating with Romelia. I gotta go now. My girlfriend's saying, where am I at? I'm still here in the parking lot to get lunch. But thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate everybody. I'm gonna, yeah, CG, let me know, man. I'm gonna be going home having lunch. If you want, we could do it later, or whatever day is good for you. Wednesday, besides today, might be okay. But just hit me up. I'll look at my schedule. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for coming in today. And as we always say, may the Romelia be with you. And Ramulators, mount up.